Hey, it's the March Hare. I bet you didn't expect this. Or, well, maybe you did. This is the last Ghostmaster. The last level of Ghostmaster. However, there's one very significant problem with my episode. Oh, look at the puppy. Of Ghostmaster. My audio recording was horrific. I did this right after I finished doing a very long session of recording with that ServeBot fella. So I was tired and not really prepared to do this, but I was still in a recording mood, so I decided to get it done. So now I've got the footage, but no audio recording. So I have decided to make this commitment for the last Ghostmaster. I'm going to sit through with you with this and watch it with you. And suffer all the same suffering that you would have to go through, with the exception of having to listen to my terrible commentary. Actually... Well, fortunately... The thing was, a lot of times I would move my head away from the microphone so you couldn't hear it, and so I was either too quiet or not funny. I wasn't even being strange, which doesn't do us any good. Now, here we begin at, What Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? What Lies Over the Cuckoo's Nest, my bad. That was a good movie, though. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You should watch that if you haven't, and if you have, watch it again. Anyway, I'm not going to pretend that I'm doing this live. I'm just going to watch it with y'all and see what I think. Freaking Darkling. So the mission here is we're back in a hospital, and the Darkling is stuck on the very top floor, which you will never be able to reach, and he's being held in place by these 5 insane people that are in their own little private cells. And so you've got to get all the insane people out of these rooms, but one of them is the guy that you scared to death, or not to death, but to insanity, the very first time you meet the Darkling. So, and you see him a second time, the second time you go to the cabin where there's the Darkling, and he's catatonic. Like, he doesn't know how to move. And he's a vegetable, actually. It's probably better. So you're going to have to find a way to get him to move. And then when you open up the door cells for the other inmates, they just bolt out. But the entire floor with the crazy people and the floor with the Darkling on it has a red ward. So you can't actually put ghosts in there until you get a ghost up there.
Asylum, free the Darkling, and empty the hospital building.
And then on top of that, you had to scare everybody away, which is not very hard. So the easiest way to get ghosts... Well, I skipped this after a little bit, because he's very wordy and doesn't really have much to say.
Majesty, as if I desire the filth
Yes, I know that also applies to me.
has bound me
Skip.
in this mystic.
Darn, thought I called it. I was close. But the best way to get ghosts into the red ward area... Oh, I start off by driving the doctor insane for some good starting bonus, because you can do that. It's practically insane anyway. Anyway, there are consultants, or orderlies. Orderlies are the names. And they're the people who regularly take care of the insanity ward, so they'll be the ones that'll walk up there, and nobody else will. So, what you do is you make an ethereal gift or a Trojan gift, hope one of them picks it up. This is the major Ghostmaster flaw here. Hope one of them picks it up by chance and carries it upstairs, which didn't even work for me. I ended up using a different tactic that's a little bit sneakier, which I didn't actually expect to work. But so a very large majority of this episode is just waiting around, and me occasionally doing a really massive surge or something to that nature, just to keep my power up. And that's a very strange... The thing in the mirror spell. The thing is that the mirror ghosts are actually probably one of my favorite types, if I didn't mention that before, which I probably did. Just because they have some of the more entertaining powers in the game. Like, you have the electrical ghosts and the fire ghosts and stuff that just like, oh, sets everybody on fire, or electrocutes people, and you can see their skeleton and their spinal cord is all shaky and stuff. Those are fun, but, I mean, they're not creative. In the same way, like you have thing in the mirror where it's like you look in the mirror and there's this monster thing with a three-headed, nasty genitalia monster staring back at you, or like when they look in the mirror, they see a skeleton. And I really like abhorrent aspect for Harriet because it's pretty much like you're the creature that they're shapeshifting. Oh yeah, I do this a few times and like make almost everybody in the hospital unconscious with one shapeshift. But the abhorrent aspect, you pretty much turn them into what's her name, the girl from The Exorcism or The Exorcist. The movie with that thing with the projectile vomiting. I'm not a huge movie person, actually, believe it or don't. I have a small number of movies that I very passionately love, and then I don't really watch many other movies. So the movies that I do watch, I tend to be very passionate about. I figure that I think I'm doing good so far. I've still got, there's quite a lot of time that's gonna have to pass before we get anywhere near towards the end. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my ghost selection for this level. What the usual thing is, you want to have Storm Talon and Hypnos on a Trojan Gift, because they're the two ghosts that you're going to want to get up into the Red Ward. And then I have Scarecrow and Clatterclaws, also known as the Mighty Spider Face, for general scaring, just keeping our numbers up. And Firetail for the same thing. And then Harriet and Lady Rose for creating Trojan gifts and such. And Boo for his ultimately powerful rattle chains, which is one of the cheapest and most efficient ways to gather mortals outside of using Fascinate, Intrigue, those sort of things. Hang on a moment. So start off at this point with, since Lady Rose is trapped in a mirror, and the only place that you find mirrors apparently is in the bathroom. You can't use like the little tiny round medical mirrors that you find on the beds because that's too precise. She wouldn't fit. So I've got one present in the bathroom. One's being carried around by the kid. I think I was hoping that the kid would pass an orderly, so I'd spook the kid, make him drop it. Ultimately, the whole orderly thing is a lost cause. Because apparently they don't like presents. If you look on the mortal, like the line of mortals, in the second column, the middle column, the two green-shirted guys with glasses in the middle are the orderlies, and then the two nurses below them that are wearing green also go up into the ward. So those are pretty much the four that you're trying to go after. Here I am putting down Clatterclaws. Spiderface. I gotta call him Spiderface. I actually started a small problem that some of the, I think one of the nurses went all the way downstairs, got scared by Spiderface, and then later I placed Scarecrow right outside, so pretty much the idea is to juggle mortals between inside and out, right outside, so that I'd be able to build up a lot of scare tension and get rid of, the unnecessary mortals that pick up presents that aren't orderlies. Because, you don't actually have any problems with the Ghost Breakers or anything. They're actually out of town, which is kind of funny. I did actually talk about my overall impressions with the game, even if I tried to dig them up, they'd be too quiet for you to hear even at 170% volume, which is where most of my talk tracks go. I had to turn my microphone sensitivity up.